Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I've got questions for you. Are you watching America's Next Top Model? Did you watch last night's episode? I got some notes on it, but I didn't take any serious notes. I'm not really quite sure if I'm gonna review it yet, but I know I'm gonna be watching it because it's like it feel like home. It's like yay! I'm kind of excited that Tyra is back. I guess, yeah, I'm excited that Tyra is back. She does have the likability factor. And the other thing that I've been thinking, but let me just say this one thing. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around for some chat about America's Next Top Model, last night's episode. You know who else has the likability factor? I saw Kenya Moore interviewed someplace, and she really, I think she has the potential to have the likability factor. I was in high school anyway. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Okay, so we got America's Next Top Model. We got 4 judges. One of them is the full-figured white woman, Ashley Graham, who gets a lot of attention. Tyra is another one. There's a black man with long hair. I don't know his name. Then there's, like, I think the white man who was the artistic director for the photo shoot is the 4th judge. I don't know if they're gonna have guest judges or not, but I guess the big thing today is, I mean, with this season, is that, you know, there's no age limit. I think the age limit used to be 32 or 23 or something like that, and now there's no age limit. So that's like woo woo woo. You know, beauty has no limits. It's not limited in terms of age or color or size or shape. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. So you know, but the only other thing that's new with this season, and I don't know if it's going to go throughout the season or if it was just through this, we're down at the end of this episode, we'll be down to the 14. So most of the people, I don't quite know who they are yet, because it's like 2 million people, and then we went to 20, but it was still a lot of people to be trying to keep track of and trying to figure out who they were. So but if you are not next level fierce, then you can be cut at any time. They don't have to wait till the judges table, the judges panel to cut you. They could cut you at any time. You could get cut out here on these America's Next Top Model streets. So anyway, there are 20 at some, you know, they have like kind of, it's not really, it's a bunch of people, and then we get down to 20. But we find out that it's only going to be there are only 14 finalist slots. So by the end of the photo shoot the next day, you know, they'll be down to their number of 14. And then we see Tammy Roman's daughter, Lyric, who we've seen. When I saw her, I'm like, she kind of looked familiar, but I couldn't figure out. But it's Tammy Roman's daughter, Lyric, who we know as a model, and she gets turned down. I was like, what? How they gonna turn out? But anyway, they don't want that crossover into the reality world, I guess, or they just didn't think she was next level fierce. So anyway, and then somebody is styling the shoot who's known. I didn't write quite. They gave their accolades or whatever. It didn't really mean much to me. And it's like an avant-garde couture type thing. And then like during the photo shoot, or yeah, the photo shoot, the Rio is in this red dress with this balloon head thing. It's very interesting visually. The artistic director tell one of the girls, one of the women, look beautiful instead of drunk. And I'm like, what kind of direction is that? She ain't trying to look drunk. So obviously she tried to look beautiful. But anyway, and then we have, there was one person who had white flowers on their head, and that was really pretty. Then there's like the black lace and the Queen of the Butterflies. And I think this is this blonde woman who, when she came to her audition, she seemed kind of like she was like drunk or high, or she said she wasn't high on anything, but they were like joking that she got a flask in her boobies. I think that's who has on the black lace, the Queen of the Butterflies thing. And then we have a biracial woman who is really facially ambiguous. And then we have Erin. She's 42. And she looks boring on the set, and he's like, do something. I think that the person who's the artistic director is giving like the worst direction. And you know, there is a knack to giving good direction. And he might have it, but we didn't see, I was kind of like, what kind of direction is that? Look, do something. But anyway, and we see Tyra come, and she look, they're going through the, like, editing the photos, like going through the photos, and the artistic director is like, well, I had, Tyra's like, oh, that's a good picture. He's like, I had a hard time getting that out of that one. Or she's like, oh, that's a good picture, and he like, yeah, we got that the first shot. This person, yeah, I like this, I don't like that. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, at some point I'm like, I think Tyra is about to cut people right now. And then she's like, there's going to be a fashion show, but not all of you are walking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she is cutting people right now. And they cut 2 people. I don't know who they were, but they gone. And then Tyra is like, now who else is not walking in the fashion show? And we're all like, oh my god, she's cutting somebody else. Just tell us, why are you like torturing us with the knife? I'm gonna cut somebody, I'm gonna cut you, is it gonna be you? I'm like, I feel like I'm on The Walking Dead. You got the baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, and you're just threatening us, Tyra. And then she's like, I'm not walking in the show. Ha 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 ha. And they laugh and they think it's funny. I'm like, I can't take this stress. Don't be playing with my emotions like that when I'm trying to be on America's Next Top Model and be America's Next Top Model. This ain't no joke, Mama Tyra. Okay. So, I'm like, she can laugh and joke, I guess, I love there's one person who has this pink hair and it's like big body waves, like finger waves, but they're big body waves. I thought it was beautiful. I thought there was a lot of that imagery was really pretty. And then Erin is like, I got cut, they didn't, whatever, but she's like, when she's walking in the show, she's like, this is my walk. I'm really feeling my walk. I'm so glad that Tyra got a chance to see my walk. This is my walk. And I'm like, this child is really feeling her walk. And, she was feeling it. She looked good enough to me. She looked a little on the slower side to me, but it was hard to, like, not being there. It's kind of hard to get. I couldn't really get a feel for if it was working or not, because it could have worked or it could have not worked. I couldn't tell. Then we find out that when they're moving into the house, or they go to the house, and one of the young women is like, this is the nicest place she's basically been. She grew up really poor, has been poor to the point where, they used a blow dryer for heat. And I'm like, a blow dryer for heat? That is really poor, because how much heat are you going to get from a blow dryer? I mean, that's an extreme situation, it sounded like to me. And then we have Miss Christina, and that's the one who said during the auditions, somebody had said something about I'm not liking you right now, because they said something. She said, well, I'm a model. And somebody's like, well, I'm not liking you right now. And she's like, well, because I've been out here and I've got a little experience, I've learned that not everyone is going to like me. And I'm not going to like everyone. That's Miss Christina. And she's feeling a little bit of stress, because she said that in that audition, and everybody was kind of like, the judges were like not amused, and they were not impressed by her wisdom. And it was kind of like she could feel, oops, I done said the wrong thing to the wrong people at the wrong time. Is it going to get me cut? Oh my God, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So she's still feeling a lot of anxiety about that, that she didn't get started on the right foot. I thought it was funny. Now, it might not have been the right thing to say, but it's true. Everybody's not going to like everybody. But anyway, and then the Pantene Gold commercial comes on. This is like maybe off the subject, but it was a beautiful commercial. And I feel like I've seen it once before, but I don't see it very often. But I'm not much of a commercial watcher. The channel get changed on the commercials, try to minimize the commercials that we be exposed to, because you be out there buying stuff, don't know why you buying stuff, you done seen the commercial a million times, didn't even realize you saw the commercial a million times, and that's why you out there buying stuff. Okay, so anyway, we see Liz, and is she drunk, high? I think this is the blonde woman who during her audition, we were kind of like, is she high? And they were like, you got a flask in your boobies, go on and get drunk. Blonde, full figured. And I think when she walked the runway, she had the hood on her head. She pulled it off and shook it. And, it was kind of like a little like, what? It fit the persona that we've seen. So I think that's Liz. And then when they got to the house, we knew that it was only 14 people that were going to be in the house, and they only had beds for 14 people, and they didn't really show us how they worked it out, but we thought that they were, and some of the people were like, well, they're going to do eliminations tonight. Tyra's going to show up any minute to do eliminations, because it's only 14 beds. And then the next thing I know, I'm looking, and it's morning time. I'm like, is this the next day? They just slept on the couch. They ain't come do eliminations in the nighttime. They keeping the girls guessing. Is that what's going on? And sure enough, it's the next day. So they let them sleep in the house without enough beds for everyone. I mean, just the indignity of it all. They don't have a judging panel, just a board. It's like a red cloth over a board or something, and behind it, I guess, is your name or your picture or something. Tyra comes and she's like, these are the people that are going to be selected, and she pulls the red screen down, or the red cloth comes down or whatever, and then if you see your picture up there, then you've been selected. So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so happy, oh, I'm hugging and hugging and hugging. And then there are a couple people who are not hugging and not happy and not on the list, but I'm not quite sure about who's not on the list except for Miss Erin. 42 years old. She's younger than me, but I think in her audition she looked really like young, but she doesn't look as young now when she's leaving, because her picture isn't up there and she's rejected, and it's so sad. And then Tyra comes up to her and Erin is like, well, thank you. She doesn't say thank you for the opportunity, but she basically saying, well, thank you for the opportunity. And it's kind of like, oh, boo hoo hoo. And Tyra's like, yeah, well, you know. And then Erin is like, well, do I get a picture? And you know, it's like she's struggling, and I felt bad because it was kind of like she was so proud of her walk, and I guess her walk got her cut off and thrown off. And then Tyra was like, I do, you know, have a picture for you, because age doesn't have, I mean, beauty doesn't have, and they're not going to be 14 girls, they're going to be 15 girls, or women, since now especially we got 42-year-old, we can't be calling her 40, I mean, there are going to be 15 women, and you're number 15 because you're wonderful and you're great, and you sacrificed your modeling career potential because you had children and you wanted to be a mama, and blah, 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 blah. And by then, everybody is like, you know, I think the other women, young women are watching and stuff. And so I don't know which other 3 people got eliminated. I guess we don't need to know since they're not there. I guess their friends and family know. But that was Top Model. So we're down to 14. So next week when it comes on, there'll be 14 young women. And I might, you know, I guess depending on my interest level, I might do some research in the interim to see who's there. Because I think it was one young woman there from Detroit. You know, I'm from Detroit. And then there were a couple, like, you know, racially ambiguous woman. There was one woman who, you know, there were a couple women who looked like they might have been brown. And then there was like one woman who looked like really, really brown. I hope she still is in the running, because, you know, I'm voting for everybody black and brown. For the most part, I start with the blackest and work my way down. So the darker they are, the more of my vote that they got, because I know how hard it is for us browner women out here in this white oriented world. But anyway, so I want to know, you know, because I was kind of like, when I saw the group, I'm like, it's a couple, you know. But anyway, that's what we got. That's America's Next Top Model. It's back. I'm so excited. Tuesday night, I didn't get to see the haves and the have-nots, and I also did not get to see Married at First Sight. But I gotta go see. I gotta catch up definitely with Married at First Sight, because I've started with that. So that's what I got. That's who I am, Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you for considering subscribing to my channel. If you aren't a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. If it's not your first time here, welcome. If it's your first time here, you can see my video vixen right here just in the corner. You know, she's just giving a little neck, and she might take it back. She might give a little nose, and she might take it back. We don't know, because it's Bella the dog. We don't know what she liable to do. But comment, subscribe, share with all your fabulous and wonderful friends and family, and with the friends and family who you might not think are so fabulous and wonderful, but I know they are. Today is the best day ever. You are the greatest. You are the #1 stunner. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be